Hello everybody and welcome to the next game, the DelotA Dota 2 Amateur Tournament. I'm Just Delicious and with me as always is Vague Raconteur and once again our special guest, ex-Team Infused, Danny D.
Uh,
Hello.
Absolutely lovely to have you, Danny. And this is Feedrunners, now called AEOU. So it's a bit gutting because we loved that Feedrunners logo. It's so beautiful. And previously, One Pure, again, another name change, but a bit more permanent, I guess. Era. Now, these teams. This is the loser bracket quarterfinal, I believe. JD, am I right there?
It is indeed.
And we will be seeing just the picking for this moment because, as you can see, one member of Era just kind of still getting in. We've had absolute nightmares from Era just trying to get here in time and a little bit of traffic issues and everything like that, but it'll be okay. We'll cover the picking, they'll be here on time, and then we'll continue with the stream so you get to see those lovely lobbies made as well.
Indeed, I've made the lobby now and they've all said that they're here. They've all left. Everybody's turned up basically, so I've remade the lobby. So yeah, just rejoin that and then we'll go straight away. So as they were loading, the arrow were like, "Oh, our team's turned up," so we all decided to go again. So yep, we are going to be having a 5v5, no interruptions as soon as this goes. And we've seen both these teams play before. Feedrunners were in our January tournament era. We've only seen once or twice, but they look pretty good. It's going to be interesting to see whether they are as good as Feedrunners, because we know how good Feedrunners are. Feedrunners are a very, very good team. They did very well last time, and they're doing very well this time. And I'd be very surprised if they didn't make it at least to the semi-finals. But Era are a team that can definitely beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've seen some great play from both of these teams. QFest, an absolutely insane captain for a brilliant team, and Era, the last game they played, they absolutely dominated. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly who tries to win this. And let's not forget, this is so close because they're in the quarterfinals now. It's really, really close to the end. If they can get through this, it's just a little bit more of a push until they can get to the final.
Yeah, the winner of this game plays Jambo in the semi-finals of the losers bracket. So this is a pretty important game, and Jambo, we know, are a very good team. Only got knocked out because of the power of Imba, who always, pretty much always win unless they do come up against Team Infused. But we can't blame them for losing that game. But yeah, once again, we're just waiting for one more player, and then we can actually finally get on with the game.
Absolutely. Sorry it's taken so long, and now, a little bit ironically, one of the actual members of Feedrunners are just coming in. They've got a couple of standards, so it's good devotion, but we've got standards on both sides, so it's not so bad. It's not going to, hopefully, it won't affect Feedrunners gameplay, and maybe it'll come out okay.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it's Dreyers that isn't here yet. He's taking his time a little bit. Not sure what's going on there. I'll message him in a second and see what's up if he still isn't here. We could just ask in the lobby actually. But yeah, this is taking a little bit while. But yeah, this game was delayed by like a good half an hour while we waited for the rest of the Era team to turn up because their captain wasn't actually there. So we've had to wait a lot longer than you guys have, and I hope you're not too annoyed by the fact that we're starting this one a little bit later than we were expecting to.
Yeah, absolutely. But finally, the game can start, and we can start to see this kind of game, which we have been in great anticipation for. So,
Yeah, like every game at this stage, this is going to be close, and it's going to be a well fought battle. I mean, yesterday we saw MAC versus BK, and that's normally a very, very close game, but MAC really did do exceptionally well. They played on top form, and BK just didn't quite do it. So MAC did take the win there. I really hope that ST hasn't hasn't done it again.
oh goodness gracious! But no, funny you should mention that. The MAC win, they won it with the incredible Wombo combo. It was
Yeah.
so good, and that's the thing. While when we started this tournament in January, the meta was so strong that teams almost always stuck by it independently. But now we see so many wombo combo teams being so good, so effective that those are the teams that just keep winning. And you cannot. It's come back to the beautiful ultimates that make us casters so happy because you can't avoid it.
Yeah, definitely, and I really did like seeing that game yesterday. It was interesting to see they did shut down the Phantom Lancer very, very well. I mean, they got their Lone Druid to get that Radiance extremely quickly, and that really took him by surprise. As soon as he picked up that Radiance, he really did start destroying team fights with triple kills, ultra kills, and he really just spiraled out of control at that stage. And he just got there a little bit faster than the Phantom Lancer, which was very, very surprising. Yes, it looks like he might be able to make it. He's connected. He's here. We're actually going to go. At last, we're going to start Era Esports versus Feedrunners, who haven't set their name, but it doesn't matter. Only Vague will get too confused about that. And into the first bands, we're expecting the ordinary. Nothing too out of place here.
Well, thank goodness we can finally stop blagging it and we can talk about what's actually going to happen here. And as normal, we see the absolute straight to the meta bans coming out here. Darkseer and Batrider. Darkseer being one of the strongest offlanes in the game, and great now for the wombo combo that we've been seeing recently. And
Okay.
Batrider undoubtedly the strongest mid.
I was going to say, Magnus made it through, and he's going to get first picked up by Feedrunners. So a little bit weird that Era decided to ban out the Nyx, but they've got a plan against Magnus. They're going to go straight for the Keeper and maybe even Shadow Demon as well. So they'll get their pick of supports. But Magnus being given away, and we've seen Magnus only do good things so far in this tournament. We had a little bit of a messy game when Entropy picked him up, but apart from that, he's been a pretty huge force wherever he's been picked up.
Well, you have to say that actually a lot of people are letting Magnus through now. He's so good, but we've seen a lot of teams decide, no, we can go against him, and they've done such a good job of just that. They just seem to put an Invoker against, they put a Crossworks Invoker against him. We've seen a Gyrocopter go against him and win in this tournament, so it seems like despite him being a great mid, he's better for his team fight later on, and in mid he is actually conquerable, and if you can shut him down enough, he really is just completely shut out until he can get a Blink Dagger, or until he can just do something. It's very hard to just use your skewer and then go in, because you can end up moving members of the team that you really need to stay still for the combos. So maybe that's why Era decide, no, we'll let Feedrunners have it, and we're just going to make sure that Keeper of the Light is going uncountered.
Yeah, well, they obviously know what they're doing. They obviously fancy coming up against Magnus. They'd rather get rid of the Batrider and the Nyx Assassin, and those two heroes are exceptionally strong. There's no doubt about that. They'd rather not give away Nyx, and they'd rather have Keeper for themselves. And Sven getting picked up very, very early. So Magnus and Sven going to Feedrunners, and odd choice. Magnus not one of the best carries right now in this meta. People seem to prefer Phantom Lancer or Gyrocopter, but they want him for the big combo with Magnus.
Yeah, Sven is he's a great carry because, as we know, once he gets a little bit of farm, a Daedalus and a BKB, he can pretty much just do 1.5k crits with all the extra damage that he gets. But he works really nicely with Jakiro. He works amazingly well with Magnus because his Storm Hammer goes so nicely after Reverse Polarity, and Empower plus Magnus is Magnus is Empower plus Sven's Natural Cleave is just so strong, and maybe that's what Feedrunners are going for this game. But Era Esport, they went straight for the supports, so while we could potentially see a Rubik mid, we're much more likely to see him supporting along with the Keeper of the Light, and it's a reasonably balanced lane. You've got the extra damage from, and there we go, Faceless Void. We've seen the most stomping of a hero. He's such a pain, and he's a real annoyance, especially for heroes like Sven. If he can catch out Sven, he may be completely stuck.
Well, I think the only reason they've picked up Faceless Void is just for the anti-combo. If Magnus goes in with the RP and then Sven tries to back him up, you have Void there, waiting in the wings just to dive in and pop that ulti, and can really turn around a fight pretty easily. So I suppose that's probably one of the only reasons they've picked him up as a carry. Plus, obviously, he's very capable carry-wise if they can secure him the farm at the beginning of the game, because he is one of the weakest early game heroes in the game. He has absolutely nothing. He has no natural disable. He has a very small natural slow, and yeah, he has no lane presence whatsoever.
No, his prods are pretty much the only thing he has, and while they do hit reasonably strong, they're so slow, and he's quite a slow hero himself, so it's just impossible. But Air Esport, interesting there, banning out the Wisp. So many teams that we've seen just are scared of this global strat. We've only seen one
Wow.
team go for it, and they did so very well. But Wisp is proving she? I believe it's a she, maybe it's just an it. Is
Oh.
such a strong force to be dealt with recently.
Well, yeah, I
I
wouldn't
think
want
the
to. Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't want to see Wisp and Magnus, but I'll let Danny talk that one through.
well, I think they'll probably. I think they should ban Lena. There'll probably be a Lena picked up here for the Magnus team.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, her stun is absolutely ridiculous. Plus, she can go with Jakiro and Sven on a tri lane, and they can really put the pressure on. That's a ridiculously strong tri lane with a
Well,
lot of
I'm
nukes
pretty
and a lot of
sure.
stuns.
Pretty sure we're going to see a farming game this
Yeah,
game, especially to the lineups.
yeah, more than likely. I mean, Sven and Faces Void. Sven can hit his potential in the mid game, but the error are definitely just going to want to farm as much as possible because Faces Void is not going to be able to compete with Sven until he has a lot of items. So mid game he just cannot compete with Sven whatsoever.
Well, that is absolutely true, but late game, you really have to give it to Void, and we are going to see a farming frenzy from Faces Void. He can't do much else throughout the game. He has to be someone who stays out, and that could be so bad because with the team that they have, Feedrunners could easily try and go for the mid game and completely shut out that Void, who doesn't have any presence unless he gets so many kills early on, or his farm would be robotic in terms of its perfection.
Yeah, but you have to remember that Chrono can always affect a team fight, even if he has got no farm. If he hits a good Chronosphere and catches 3 or 4 of the other team and none of his, he can really turn the team fight around, especially with a Keeper of the Light Illuminate actually going straight into it. So even if he gets no farm, he can still definitely affect the game. Obviously not as much as a Sven can, but he's still something you have to watch out for.
Oh, absolutely, and Bounty Hunter being picked up for Feedrunners. They're picking up their offlane now. A great hero, maybe they're going to be trying to use him to gank the Void because he's going to be so useful to do just that. So, but we haven't seen what Era's offlane is going to be. Obviously now they can try and counter that and go offlane v offlane, but potentially they wouldn't want to because definitely early game Void is not someone that you want to be coming against a tri lane. Try every try, you're going to easily have to give that to Sven with the Jakiro so far, and whatever hero he picks, most likely, as Danny said, would be Alina. You'd have to just straight away give it to Feedrunners.
Well, yeah, they picked up Bounty Hunter on the back of Era banning Lone Druid, so maybe Era were more expecting them to go for Lone Druid, but they give away the most powerful offlaner in the game, and they don't have anything to back it to counter it with, because that Lone Druid can be very good against Bounty Hunter and can easily outfarm him and dominate the late game. But without Lone Druid, they really don't have many options left. I mean, they could try and go for something crazy like a Windrunner or a Mirana, but Bounty Hunter's going to be he's gonna have quite a nice time against them. Not the greatest time, but he's gonna definitely at least get levels and a little bit of farm.
Well, this is the point where we've seen the best counter for Bounty Hunter so far, actually made by Imabatonet, and they picked up a Clockwork who just proved you do not need anything else. Bounty Hunter can get completely destroyed by that Clockwork as long as he keeps on spamming those homing missiles. The second BH becomes visible, it's just so evil. Homing missile, sorry, flare.
I was gonna say you're thinking of Gyrocopter, but who they pick for this offlane is going to be an odd one. But who do you think is going to be picked up to try and round off these lineups now, Danny? Well,
I don't know really.
yeah,
Just, they banned the Shadow Demon. Ever, then it would have been a counter to Sven, and they would have been good picking it off.
yeah, they.
And they would have. What they could have done is put Kotler on the offlane, and then do Rubik Shadow Demon Void on the tri lane and put mid, which
Yeah, that would have
is
looked.
what they should have done.
Yeah, that would have looked pretty good. The Bane getting picked up. Bane, another hero that we see coming into the meta a lot more. And Enigma from Era. So we get to see our favourite hero, Enigma. Amazing for casters. Completely amazing with that, obviously, ridiculous black hole. And he is going to more than likely be offlaning now, using those Eidolons to try and get as much as he can. He's going to be coming up, hopefully, they hope, against Qfest. But Bane is going to be very odd, because in the early game he's going to completely deny Shadox of any farm on his Faceless Void. just because of that really, really annoying Enfeeble.
Well, I think that it's a great pickup. I think potentially better than Lena. It means that if it does go try v try, and I'm pretty sure that Air Esport would not risk that, so most likely to see them versus Enigma on the offlane, or potentially they could try and put Enigma mid. It would be a little bit strange for them to do it, but considering Puck, we've seen against Magnus do a reasonably good job, and let's not forget how easy it is for it to just avoid those shockwaves with Uri. But of course, JD will be running through the Radiant, and then I will be going over to the Dire.
Yep, and we see Sexy Roam picking up the Jakiro. Andromeda will be on the Bane. ST will be on the Magnus. We see the stand-in, whose name I can't now read. Berkey Walkin will be on the Sven. And last but not least, we see QFest taking up the Bounty Hunter and running up to top lane.
Absolutely. If we go over to the Dire in bottom lane, we have 190909. We'll just call him 19. On the Enigma, we have MAT or Matt on the Puck. Looking up top, we have Shadox on the Faceless Void. We have Onion Rings on the Rubik, and then back down the bottom, we have Yatta on the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, and he's basically just giving some wards to 1-9 so he can go and just place them in the jungle, make himself a little bit safer on this lane, because we are going to be seeing tri-lanes coming up against the solo. So this is pretty much exactly what Era wanted. They didn't want their Void getting shut down farm-wise, and now he's going to have as much as he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. He shouldn't have that much time. Of course, you weren't going to see try v try. Maybe we'll see Feedrunners try and come in. Maybe we'll see them say, no, we're not going to let that. We will switch to the hard lane. We'll port up there, and we'll just deny Void. Because if they do, they have the potential to completely dominate the game. They're definitely going to win that try. Rubik and Keeper can try as much as they want, but they really wouldn't be able to stop that.
Well, aggressively tri-laning against Keeper of the Light is always going to give you some problems, so they're going to have to they're going to have to think about it before they just straight up swap.
I mean this Rubik has he's only got one sentry.
Yeah, and QFest has... Oh, actually, the haste has just ran out. But yeah, with one sentry, they're not going to be able to gank QFest like almost at all. So they're just going to let him hang around. They know the sentry's up, so QFest just going to do a little bit of harass. But yeah, he's already used one of his sentry wards to de-ward in mid, and he actually missed it. So not only did he put a sentry ward down, he completely wasted it.
Absolutely.
Got to be careful feeding these Eidolons to Sven, I think.
Yeah, really.
If he doesn't micro him well enough, he'll just feed Sven and that's it. Sven will get double the farm Void has.
Yeah.
He's getting fed Eidolons.
Yeah, giving Sven Eidolons is never the right way. Sorry, Vega, I will let you talk.
That's okay, it's just a little bit nightmare with 3 people, of course, as you would expect. The problem there with Enigma, as I thought it would happen, I may have thought maybe we'd see him in mid, because those Eidolons do just burn so nicely away with Sven's cleave if he gets too close, and there is the potential to lose them. If he's going in a hurry, he might just end up leaving the Eidolons behind. It won't be that difficult for them to clear.
I mean, Enigma can push back the lane, exactly the same function as Lich on the off lane, and still get farm, which is good for him, at least.
Yeah, being able to convert your own creeps does give him that advantage, at least being able to get the lane back where he wants it and being able to control it a lot more.
If he gets caught, he's dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's got no real escape. That Malefice is such a tiny mini stun. It's only 1 second. It's hardly a stun, barely, almost a mini stun. So he really doesn't have any chance to escape, and he's not the fastest hero at 300 move speed. You've got a Jakiro who, fair enough, is slower, but coming up against a Sven with Warcry means that everybody's going to be able to catch up to him.
But if Magnus and Sven get this wombo combo off, it is over.
Yeah, a few right clicks from Sven and they'll just be able to absolutely destroy them, especially if it gets to mid game and Void just isn't quite farmed enough. And if they can actually catch Void, then they're just going to straight up die.
The problem you've got with Sven is with Magnus is he's just, even with Ghost Scepter, the cleave damage is pure, so even the source ports just die from the cleave regardless. Which is why it's that's why it's such a pain.
Yeah, that's a very good point actually. The Ghost Scepter will not be able to work on him, so it will not work against him, so he'll just change his target and then just slice you down just as easily anyway. So they don't really have many options. The only thing they can do against it is just really, really good positioning. If they do get caught out, they're going to at least lose a team fight. And against the sort of team that Feedrunners have, if they lose a team fight, they're going to easily lose a tower, because they do have this Chikiro and Sven ready to push the lanes very, very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a real kind of struggle for both of these teams. They've got the potential for Magnus plus Sven. We can see within power, Sven will be doing more damage with his cleave than he will with his actual attack. So when he gets crits, the potential damage to the supports that he's not focusing, if he chooses not to hit the supports themselves, would be higher just from cleave than it would than the actual damage on whoever he is focusing, which is always just a little bit funny to see more than anything else. But they have got that Enigma error, so they do have the possibility to black hole everyone in, and then that will just help Void get a perfect chronosphere as everyone else can back out when Enigma's there. Maybe they'll let Enigma stay in the middle with that black hole and just, you know, he's switched off to the jungle now.
Well,
he doesn't really want to risk that offlane. He's actually giving up that offlane. Maybe we're going to see someone come back to help it, but maybe not. And no, Keeper of the Light unfortunately got the first kill, so...
Yeah, QFest actually gets dropped, and I was going to say that this Faceless Void is farming very, very nicely. He's about 200 ahead of Sven, and what's more, he's going to definitely be picking up a hand of Midas very, very soon. He almost has the money for it, but 50 more gold, he'll have the money, and Sven's not going to be going. I'd be very surprised if Sven goes for a Midas, although he's picked up his Gloves of Haste first, so maybe he is.
Yeah, Gloves of Haste on a Sven first always indicates an early hand of Midas, and he's got the farm for it. He can do it. He's not quite as good as Void, but he's only 4 last hits behind, and considering it's only just 5 minutes in, he can easily catch up.
Yeah, but you have to...
Before he gets last hit on this tower, that's
Yeah.
what Midas done.
Oh, he actually... Yeah.
He got it. Yeah. I mean, Midas at 5 minutes is pretty insane.
Yeah, he's going to have a very nice time. He's got Midas... Yeah, he's completely finished Midas now, and Sven is still a good 400 off, so 300 off now, sorry, so he's absolutely miles ahead, Faceless Void, and he's just probably going to go into the jungle and just continue this insane amount of farm that he's getting. And
but I'm going to have to point you down to bottom where there's a smoke gank going on from
behind the
Feedrunners.
tower.
Actually, no. Oh, they've just cancelled it. They've just let it run out and haven't gone for it. A little bit strange, but obviously they thought Sven could use the support. Sven could use the experience, and they could at least go and try and kill off this Enigma. Sorry for interrupting you, JD. I thought something there would happen, but they've seen the Enigma. Is something going to happen here, or are they just going to go off and hassle? No, just a bit of a trade-off, and an Eidolon ending up in a nightmare.
Yeah, that's the thing about Enigma on this lane. If he has his Eidolons with him at all times, Bane cannot shut him down. Bane can't stop him actually getting away, so they can't land their perfect combos. So Enigma a nice choice just because of that against this tri lane. So I can understand why they decided to do it. Bounty Hunter does get caught by the sentry, so he's going to have to back off. He's only level 3. If you compare that to Enigma, who's level 4 at the moment, halfway towards level 5, then he's having a much nicer time. And look at that Illuminate Harass. That's just completely insane.
I mean, Costle's 5 already. I mean, Costle's carrying 1,000 gold. He could get a mech up by 10 minutes if he goes in. If Cottle went to the jungle now.
Yeah, that's completely insane amounts of farm. What's he actually decided to go for? No, he's actually finished up his Tranquil boots. So he's figured that the Tranquil boots are
probably
more
going to get the kill
important.
onto Magnus in mid.
Looks like it.
Completely
maybe,
out
maybe,
of mana.
no.
No, ST is going to get away just because the puck ran out of mana. She had the double damage, but she just couldn't catch up with him, and he managed to juke his way out of it. Quite lucky, really, but he still did it. And we can see at bottom just still stacking the camps, letting the Sven do whatever he can. He has his Midas finished. He's having it sent to him, but he's miles behind the Void, and Void is doing much better than him. Void already has his Midas. Has already used it twice.
Well, if Void goes Battle Fury, they're going to lose the farming game because Sven can't farm quicker than Void.
No,
even if he gets Midas.
Yeah, Void's going to have a much better time. I mean, if Void can rush that Battle Fury and maybe get it within another 8 or 9 minutes, which is perfectly possible, seeing the amount of farm he's been able to get. He's sitting on 3k gold, just absolutely miles ahead of everyone else. Just absolutely insane amounts of farm, and if he gets that up very soon, he's going to be he's going to have more of a mid game threat than Sven is, just because of the amount of farm he's getting.
You know, actually now hoping that we're going to see a mid-game fight just to see exactly how
Look at
Era
Magnus.
deal with it.
I'm going to have to point you in mid because Magnus is hanging around and he has the skewer. Is he going to skewer in? He actually RP's nothing. Misclick from ST. RPing nothing in the jungle. He wanted to skewer instead, and I think he accidentally hit R, and he's just completely wasted the spell they absolutely need to start getting in, to get back into the game, and started ruining this Void's farm with some reverse polarities, and now he can't do anything with it for another 90 seconds.
Well, if there's anything more painful to watch, I don't know of it. Oh,
I mean,
or Magnus.
the supports are quite leveled on the Radiant. The Bane hasn't got very many levels, neither does the Jakiro.
Yeah, and yeah, the Keeper of the Light is doing very well on levels, and I'm going to actually flick on to hero levels now so we can have a look, and you can see that the Keeper of the Light level 6 and Rubik level 4, which is better, higher than Jakiro and Bane, who are still both stuck at level 3. They just cannot get anything. And Andromeda nearly dead on the Bane, getting away on 17 HP. And now the Sven, he's actually going to die, surely, to the Enigma. He's on 20 HP and he bottles up. Very, very, very lucky for them both to get away, and Enigma not to get a kill. That's just really unlucky. They both got away on less than 10 HP then.
Well, he might make a safe investment now. He's got 950 gold. He really should start to at least buy some boots of speed to escape a little bit faster. Bane completely cocking up there, trying to rely on Nightmare, and you can't, absolutely cannot rely on Nightmare for Enigma. It just does, against Enigma, it just doesn't work because there's Eidolons contending around, and they did just that. And now Magnus in mid getting shut down because Keeper of the Light has come to help Puck. Doesn't really need to, but of course the Void isn't having a whale of a time. 48 last hits. He's actually level with the Bounty Hunter, level with Sven, and QFest just can't really stop him.
Yeah, he's level with Sven, but if you have a look at the net worth, he's got 800 more gold, and here comes Yatta. Up goes the Chrono, and they're going to try and jump the Bounty. Can they actually get him? One more right click. Keeper takes the last hit. They get another kill, and faces Void now is 1,000 gold ahead of Sven, and he's got to be surely going for his Battle Fury now. He's sitting on 700 gold. He's going to have his Ring of Health very, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a nightmare for Feedrunners. Era doing exactly what they want. They're farming up Void so fast, he's going to be endgame standard by the mid game, and that's where Sven is just going to lose out in potential carry. He's being out carried at the moment, only slightly, only because not from any fault of his own, but unfortunately they're just getting the kills on Bounty Hunter again and again. Chronosphere works so beautifully with Illuminate, and Bounty Hunter is just going to have to be as careful as possible to try and avoid it.
Well, you say he's not getting out carried by much, but if you have a look, he's about 1,000 gold behind, over 1,000 gold behind, so he's really losing out an awful lot to Faceless Void, who picks up his Ring of Health. He is going to be rushing his Battle Fury. He's going to have it very, very soon.
I just don't understand why they picked Bounty Hunter. They're playing the farming game, it seems, with Sven, to outfarm Void, which is never going to happen, but they've just picked Bounty Hunter for some strange reason. It doesn't even offer anything.
Yeah, he's not really doing it. He's only really useful Bounty Hunter in this sort of meta when you bung him on the off lane for his track. And looking down, Enigma might get caught out, but actually he's going to be trying to get Sexy Roam. Can he take him out? Magnus comes around the back. He has RP, but they take him out before he starts, and RP hits nothing again. He actually cancels it. Very nice play by him. They think he's used it. They're all going back in. He's going to get away. He's going to actually drop. Yatta channeling the Illuminate just in case he managed to get away. He immediately buys back in, but I don't think it's going to do anything because all of Era are backing out, but really nice stun by Sven. In comes QFest. RP is up. There's the Q, but he doesn't have Skewer. He's not going to be able to catch them. Can they get Yatta? Almost certainly.
Will fall.
Almost certainly. There he goes. And nice
That's
buyback
2
from
trap
Magnus.
kills. I mean, that was nice play from Bounty Hunter there.
Yeah, very nice play by QFest. Teleporting bottom when he knew they needed him, and just getting those tracks on and managing to pick up a kill or two. And that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to start engaging and needed to start winning the fight. So Magnus buying back actually helped them an awful lot because they did need him in the end. And but in that entire time, we can see Void just free farming on the top lane. They just cannot stop him.
Yeah, it's really, really bad news for them, and I don't think, maybe, just maybe, I mean, they're having to rely on Void, because Void is the only real carry on that team. Sure, if they wanted, they could end up getting a few more intelligence items, a few great items on Enigma, and possibly do something with him, but he's obviously a support. He's got his Soul Ring and his Trenko Boots, but they're so heavily relying on Void, but of course they can. It's really, Sven and Bounty Hunter has the potential to completely carry, but Bounty Hunter is showing his worth now. He's got a kill, he's got a Morbid, he's probably going for a Vlad's, but he's not going to be able to farm like Sven is, and Sven is not winning in the farm battle versus Void. Magnus has the potential to carry, but we saw him waste his ulti accidentally. He's got an Invis rune now, but he's going to be going in. Is he going to be able to do anything?
Yeah.
They have no vision on him.
Yeah, but he has
He's gonna
RP
try
and
do
skewer. He has RP and skewer, so he's just trying to line them up. And as soon as he lines them up, he's just going to be absolutely destroying them. But they know he's there. They've all backed off. They don't want to risk it. They saw the TPs coming, and the entire team gets behind the tower. But if Magnus wants to dive this tower, there's no reason why he can't. He has an Invis rune. And if he just jumps in, they're going to get the kill on 1-9 if they go for him. But first, Bane looks like he's going to drop. Bane doesn't die again on 9 HP, and there's the RP and the Q. The Jakiro coming around the back. They're going to pick up a few kills. The black hole from Enigma is not going to nearly be enough, even though it catches 4. They have no backup for it. And they managed to pick off 2 kills. Puck even takes a tower in that time as well. Just what they needed. And Era are really fighting back into this. And even though Feedrunners are farming exceptionally well... No, sorry, wrong way round. Even though Era are farming exceptionally well, they did exactly what they needed to do. And the Void cannot do anything teleporting down bot. He just gets destroyed in a few seconds from a few nukes and has to back off. But yeah, Feedrunners doing exactly what they needed then with the Sven.
Absolutely, a little bit of a mistake bringing in Shadox. Obviously, they thought they could go for a very quick push and get Faceless Void the tower hit. He's got his
Well, they're
broadsword
still going
now.
for it.
Yeah, they maybe.
He
Maybe
has
they
his
reckon they
chrono.
can get it.
There's no reason why not. I mean, they're going to be pushing it very, very hard with Enigma and the Keeper, and if they get anywhere near it, then Faceless Void's just going to dive over the back, and you can tell that they just know they can't fight it. They've just backed off, and they're just going to let them take the tower, pretty much. Can the Faceless Void get the last hit on it is pretty much the only thing that we can talk about now, because if he can get that last hit, that's going to help him farm an awful lot. In fact, that will almost finish his Battle Fury after 15 minutes. That's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, this Void has just had astronomical farm, and it's just sorry, again, constantly going in his favour. He's about to get level 2 Chronosphere. If he gets the last hit in this tower, which will be very good for him to doing it, he can't. Enigma's Eidolons do get it. Enigma probably should have called them off. But
I mean, the Enigma's got quite a bit of money. Like, this situation, you should get a mech, really, unless Cottle's going... Oh, Cottle's already gone mech. But yeah, I mean, Sven needs to get this BKB up, and then they need to just brute force all the towers, I think.
Yeah, they need to get BKB up on Sven as soon as they can.
I mean,
it's coming
Bane
very,
has
very late.
700 health. Like, Void could literally free hit him in an ulti.
Yeah, and that'd be a certain kill. And
I mean, Jakiro's the same. They have no stat items. They need to get a bracer up, because they're just easy pickings, really, for Void.
Yeah, until they get some sort of HP, some sort of strength, I don't think they can really survive against a Void if he chronos them, especially with Illuminate as well. That's a ridiculous amount of damage. He's got it on level 3, so that's 400 damage from the Keeper. If Void traps them, they're just instantly dead. And he's almost got his Battle Fury. He's only looking for this tower to drop, and he'll have it. And that's not a position that Feedrunners really wanted to be in at all. Q-Fest around the back. They actually silence him. Is the Void Chrono coming? Doesn't look like he is. It is. They actually decide that it's not worth using it just to get the kill on the Bounty Hunter. But for some reason, he stops the Enigma's TP. And that could have been a little bit risky. Although, they're all coming into the jungle. They might actually find Void free farming. Void completely on his own if they want to go for him. The rest of the team have come to support him now. But I'm pretty sure nothing's going to start here. Both teams are going to back off. Surely this is not a position that either team want to fight in. Enigma doesn't have Black Hole up yet, but Bane just dives in. Bane's going to get caught before the fight starts. Puck around the back as well. There's the Chrono catches Sven. Sven's going to die before anything happens. Is he? No, he actually manages to pop his ulti, but it's not going to be enough. Black Hole from Enigma gets cancelled as he actually realises he catches nothing. and it looks like Sven's going to be able to get away. Enigma doesn't have Malefice. Sven's trying to brute force him, gets taken down. A 2-for-1, and AEG definitely come up on top there, managing to pick off the Sven and the Bane for absolutely nothing. For a Rubik in return, which isn't a very good trade at all.
No, it's really not. Era just playing so nicely, and it's all down to this Void's incredible farm. We're seeing and Keeper has been playing so well. He's got 1.2k again. He's got his mech. He's got his tranquil boots. Surely they're going to get this tower as well. They're doing exactly what Feedrunners need to do. They're using the Void. They're using all of their team to just brute force the towers, and they're managing it so well. But Void, he can't keep risking just coming under the tower. He definitely can't tank them.
He's got his Battle Fury.
Oh my goodness, yes he does. He has his Battle Fury at 18 minutes. Not quite as fast as previously, but let's not forget he's got a Hand of Midas and he's got his Power Treads as well.
Well, that's a very high level of farm, especially seeing that he spent the last 2 or 3 minutes milling about at bottom, just trying to pick off some of the heroes, and he didn't get a kill for it. He only got 1 assist, so that is a tremendous amount of farm. But Magnus doing what he needs to do, picking up the kills with Bane at top, killing the Rubik. But again, they don't really want to be killing this Rubik. The Rubik is not going to be doing anything to fight against them. All he has is boots and a sentry wall. They need to be ganking this Void, but now that Void has Battle Fury, he's just sticking with the rest of the team. And he knows that he doesn't need to leave them now, and he can just free farm the lanes and be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and this is the problem. We can just... Is there anything that, Feedrunners can do here? Danny, you mentioned Bounty Hunter. You don't understand why they picked him. Do you think there's any way that Bounty Hunter could really come in and be more useful? He's tried to just harass as much as he can. He does a decent damage with his crit, but really, is there any practicality being around?
Sorry, I have to cancel. I have to interrupt you because the Chrono got popped, and they're going to pick off the Jakiro and Magnus before he can RP. Really nicely timed Chronosphere by Faceless Void. They pick up a few more kills. Onion Rings has stolen the Nightmare, and it looks like Sven is going to be dropped as well. He doesn't have his Storm Hammer up. They even take Bane out, 4-for-0. QFAT's the only one to survive, but not for long because they've sentryed, and they pick up another kill. And really nice team fight by Era, and the Void Chrono set it up beautifully.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect. Sorry for asking that kind of question beforehand. I did not know such a fight was about to go, but as I was saying, obviously Era just playing on such perfect form. Danny, you mentioned Bounty Hunter not being the best pick. Do you reckon that there's anything this BH can do to be a little more useful to really slow down Era in any way?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know if Danny heard me. Maybe
no, but the RP, we're going to have to pull it back, yeah. Because really nice reverse polarity, and Void backtracks pretty much the entire ult from Bane to get away. That's the sort of luck you need if you're going to win this game. He backtracked so much, then it was untrue, but back goes Sterix. Misses everything with his skewer. It actually went directly between the 2 groups of them, which was pretty unlucky. He was looking for Shadox. Shadox, is he going to fall now? They're trying to get him. They're trying to bring him down. They do finally bring him down. Onion Rings as well on the back is going to die. And a few kills go towards Feedrunners. Just what they needed. They needed to kill that Faceless Void after he managed to get so much farm and a few kills of his own. And they're just going to continue pushing forward.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bounty Hunter has a Vlad's, which is really going to help out with Sven, and should help out with Magnus as well. But you have to say, when there's a Vlad's around for the Sven that he doesn't have to pay for, it's going to be so helpful going against a Void. He might not be able to deal with the punishment, but at least he'll be able to take something back. And if he picks up a Daedalus, the health he'll be picking up will be fantastic.
Yeah, he's nearly finished his BKB. He needs to get that ASAP, and they're going to catch Puck. Although Puck pops the ulti, they'll go combo off on them, and they're going to get all of them. Styx is not going to be able to get away from this. Jakiro comes around the back, actually manages to pick up a kill, and look at Sven's damage, completely destroying them. The Magnus has to just run away, because here comes Shadox. Is going to pick up Sexy Roam with a few right clicks, manages to get one or two time locks on him. And another 2-for-0, but I don't know why Feedrunners were diving behind that tower then. That was not a position they particularly wanted to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aero just going to take it to their advantage now. BH and Jakiro are down. Of course, they're going to be right back up very soon, but They ported in Shadows. They just don't want him to ever be out of the action, using the Keeper to keep him around constantly. They never want him to have to travel, and that's the beautiful way that they're playing, so that Shadows never really has to stop farming.
Well, another thing is Shadox actually just misses the last hit on that tower very slightly, but it's okay because he is now going for his BKB. I think he's picked up the Mithril Hammer, so it looks like he's going straight for a BKB. His farm is going very, very well. And Sven almost has his. He's about 400 off his BKB, and that's very important. He needs to pick that up soon. Bounty Hunter at bottom, going to get caught out by Shadox. Here's the Chrono. It catches him. He's going to die. The Keeper Illuminate isn't even needed as Shadox just 3-shots him.
Yeah, Shadox's damage has become insane now, and with that BKB, it's only going to go higher. They try the initiate. The Nightmare goes off. Is he going to be able to juke all of it? Yes, he has. Oh my god, he survived on such little health, and there goes the Nightmares. A double one coming out. The Magnus with Sven's cleave, it just does so much with the Empower, and he just manages to kill off both of them, but he doesn't get both hits. Bane gets one as well. They go for Yatta now. Cannot believe that Void survived. He survived with about 14 health. There he actually ports in the Puck, who silences so that Yatta can escape. Great play, but now Puck's going to fall from it. Ice Bath. Raze is still going strong. Surely he can't catch Yatta. And now 19 ports in, uses Malefice on Sexy Rome. Will Rome be able to get away from this? There's the Ice Path, but surely it's not enough. The Illuminate is still going. The Illuminate hits. Yatta gets the last hit despite it looking like Enigma had it. And again, this Void just goes back to farming.
Well, Void getting lucky every single time. You can see now he's actually picked up Maelstrom as opposed to BKB, so he's just going for pure attack speed and damage. But that's the sort of luck you need at some points in this game, and again, to get away on less than about 10 HP and to backtrack everything exactly when he needs to is working out so well for him. He's just getting a little bit lucky. QFest is actually going to walk into Onion Rings and stand in. They're going to pick him off. 1-9 has Black Hole up if they need it, but they're not going to. Illuminate gets the last hit. He walks into the sentry, gets picked off again. Feedrunners just on a little bit of a downhill slope at the moment in their play, and Sven finally has BKB, but at this stage that's really not enough. At 24 minutes is miles behind where he wanted to be.
Yeah, absolutely, and Yatta now getting caught out again by the Nightmare, but it just doesn't do that much. I mean, error of pinned down Feedrunners. It's so unfortunate for them, but you have to just give it so beautifully. You've got to say, out of all of them, you have to be impressed by Yatta, and he's playing a Keeper of the Light because he's just bringing a new definition to how well you can play this role of support. He's constantly bringing in Void after his farming, and it's just impressive.
Void's just going to go for solo Roche. Void really just wants Roshan. I don't think he doesn't nearly have enough damage to take Roshan at this stage, and he basically just wastes half of his HP walking in to try it. The rest of the team now come in to back him up, and now they can finally go for Roshan. Enigma will use these little Eidolons to probably tank up Roshan, just because they don't want Shadox doing it. Do Feedrunners know? They do. They're smoked up. Sven is miles behind, though. I don't think Sven's going to be able to get there in time. They have sentries. They can see them coming.
If an RP comes, this could be big.
He has Blink
Absolutely,
Dagger.
and it's coming!
There it is.
And they've caught him on the banner! They won't be able to do anything! This is absolutely huge! Oh, the Nightmare has gone up and on you.
Black Hole!
Cancelled
Massive
by the
Black
Enigma.
Hole by
Black
1-9.
Hole!
Catches
And Sexy
4.
Rome is still around. And there goes the Chronosphere! And Andromeda falls. Berkey Walking is definitely going to fall as well. And Void gets the double kill, and they're surely just going to go back. No, they're going for QFest as well. They get the use with the Sentry Ward, and they're just going to go back to getting Roshan.
That was just a big clusterfuck.
Yeah, in goes
Absolutely,
Magnus, and the GGs
I
have
mean,
both
it's
been called,
such
I
a
think.
messy team fight.
I think they know it's over. Andromeda's just left. No GG's been called. He's just straight up left, and Feedrunners aren't pausing. Feedrunners have paused, so he is coming back. But the RP was thrown in, and it was just such bad timing because the RP was used and just threw them onto the high ground where they could just get away from Sven. Sven couldn't get them, and then the Black Hole on the back of it, absolutely huge, and so big. Really big plays by Enigma and Void there to catch all of them in their ults, and they managed to get a 5-0 and a Roche on Shadox.
Well, that RP, as Danny was saying, perfect. Caught 2 of them out. 2 of them just completely inaccessible by Sven. They tried to nightmare
I mean,
the Enigma
what
stop.
they should have done, they should have smoked up here, or round about here, and they should have sort of gone up the other way. I'll do it when it's on pause. They should have gone
Yeah.
round like this, and then gone in that way.
Yeah, that would have
They
given.
shouldn't have just. They shouldn't have just come in through that normal way. It's too predictable.
Yeah, and they had the sentry up, so it was never going to work. I mean, surely they knew they had the sentry because bounty hunters actually been caught there a few times. So very, very, very bizarre that they decided to go straight through the ordinary channel, and they get caught out massively because of it. Even though the RP hit, the RP actually, in effect, kind of missed because it didn't let Sven do what he needed to do, which is just get on them, ulti, and just cleave them down. And coming around the back, massive Enigma black hole, and the rest was history pretty much. And now it looks like they're going to just be pushing a tower, seeing that Void has this Aegis up, and they know that RP isn't up for Feedrunners.
Well, if we look at the experience graph now, about 12,000 in favour of Era, and if we look at the gold graph, very similar story, 14,000 in favour of them. They're just having such a good time against Feedrunners, and their coordination is incredible.
Yeah, their coordination is absolutely insane, but I think we've got to, as Danny was saying, the bounty hunter pick just hasn't done anything. He got a few track kills in more mid game, but that really hasn't. He's died 7 times. They've counted him.
A mid-orientated hero. Like, you need somebody to combo with bounty hunter in mid game, like Night Stalker, for instance.
Yeah, to roam around and get those kills and to get the gold.
Someone who can gank, not a Magnus who's static mid farming up an arcane boot and blink dagger.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've just seen that bounty hunter fall flat in this game, while the mid puck from Era really just working tremendously well with the rest of their team, and it's just quite unfortunate because if they hadn't drafted that bounty hunter, maybe they'd picked up the hero that they wanted, which was the lone druid that got banned out. This game could have been very, very different at this stage. Lone druid being able to farm and maybe even deny void a little bit. And this bounty hunter's just been able to do nothing to stop the farm, nothing to gain farm, and he's really been very subpar.
They're trying to make 5-on-5 team quite well versus an void and an enigma. It's just not going to go really well. Unless Magnus gets like a 4-man RP, but then again, they're only going to be stunned.
He's looking for it, and Puck actually spots them, so Puck's going to be able to get away from this. Almost certainly no! Puck walks back in. Nice blink.
Absolutely, now everyone's around. If we look at the dreaded Greevil for Era, they've got a 4-stuff coming, they've had a gem, and they've got a Mjolnir as well. And there goes the initiation. Is anything going to come from this? Surely not. Sven's just going to run away. But we see Yatta picking up his ultimate. Maybe he's going to be calling in Void.
Yeah, he is. He's recalling Void. He pops the ulti just to recall Void, and it looks like they want to start a fight in mid. They have Chrono up. Do they have Black Hole up? They do in 15, so they're probably just going to wait until they have the black hole before they engage. And in the meantime, Void's just going to back off and farm some more because he still has that Midas. He's picked up the Hyperstone. Is he actually going to go? He's got a Mjolnir, which is very strange. Instead of an Assault Cuirass with that Hyperstone, he's decided to go for Mjolnir instead.
Well, it does make a decent bit of sense. Everyone is going to be trying to hit him, and when they do, they're going to just get hurt from that static shield. It's so effective, and let's not forget that there's attack speed as well. It gives him an extra chain, an extra bit of AoE that stacks with the Battle Fury to really just go AoE centric. Maybe he's a bit scared of Magnus's help with Empower from Sven.
Yeah, and of course, the Mjolnir is actually very good against Sven, so it does actually make sense he's picked that up. I was a little bit confused for a second.
I don't know, they're going to find it hard to push on the high ground. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, with no sight, and they don't really. They have Keeper to keep spamming, but that's not going to really do enough. And I think they need to get Void a bit more farmed before they can just dive up. I don't think Mjolnir and Battle Fury is quite enough for him at this stage to be able to go up onto high ground with no vision and actually survive. So they're actually just going to. It looks like they're just all rotating. They have wards up. They can see where they're going. They can see them rotating to try and take top. They're all just clustering around in middle. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. It looks like both teams are just kind of biding their time and waiting for the other one to make a mistake. But it doesn't look like either team's going to.
Well, it's just the calm before the storm, isn't it? Feedrunners absolutely know that Era want to get it on. They want to finish this game. They're ready. They're confident. They've got everything. I mean, Void has an Aegis. He has a Mjolnir and a Battle Fury. He's so miles ahead. And if we look at Sven, he's just miles up. He's got a Mask of Madness, for God's sake.
This is what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the high ground site with the Enigma Eidolons, but they've caught Void out. He still has the Aegis, remember, so if he does get caught out too much, he can just walk away. Nice Force Staff and a use by Yatta to be able to pull the Nightmare all the way out of the base. Now Enigma's got caught in it. And finally, it looks like it's going to end at Yatta. So Void, in goes the puck. Void following. Big Chrono doesn't catch ST, but they doesn't even need him to. He dies before anything else starts because of the bashes. Can they take out QFest? No. There's the Nightmare, and the Black Hole on the back does catch Sven. Sven's going to be dropping. It actually hits Magnus as well, but the RP catches them both. Sven.
Well, Shadox just comes straight back. He instantly comes back in, and he gets nightmared away. There goes all the brain sap and everything else to try and stop it from Bane. But they can't stop him. They can't stop Era. They're going to take this tower, surely. No, there goes the Ice Path and the Fortify. Will they be able to stop it in time? Keeper's Illuminate might be able to help, but it looks like they can't get this tower. I don't know why I can't hear. Oh dear. Jitty?
Sorry. Yeah, that was a little bit strange. But yeah, the Sven was dealing so much damage in that fight after the RP got popped on Enigma and Puck, and he destroyed them in about 1 or 2 hits. He's actually rushed Mask of Madness after his Black King Bar for that attack speed so that he can use it with Empower. And very nice fight, although Void, as soon as he came back, immediately killed the Sven, and Enigma's going to get caught. Nice blink, manages to get it away, but they're going to be taking this tower at least.
Yeah,
I really do think if the Radiant had traded bouncing for a Nagasone and the Bank for Alina, they would win this game, for sure.
Yeah, but you love Nagasone, you're a little bit biased there.
Well, it counters Void pretty hard. As soon as the ulti, she just called the song in, and his chrono's wasted every time
Puck.
you in it.
Puck with a really nice ulti. Actually manages to ulti a few of them, but around the back they actually managed to pick him off, so he's going to be falling. 1-9, getting caught by the Bane ult, and the ulti from Sven gets the kill. Feedrunners getting back into this game, exactly what they need to do. Very nice play by them. And Shadox with the ulti round the back. Sven walks into it, he picks up both of them. Not what they wanted. They were just starting to get back into it, and they give a few free kills to Shadox.
Well, Shadox is just so farmed. He's got 1.3k. He's still not died since that last time. 7 kills. He's doing so well. And they're going to be able to take this Rax now, surely.
I don't understand why the Void's building a Manta, though.
No, that doesn't make it. Yeah, it looks like he's going for a. He could
have just. Well, he should have just bought the Eagle song directly, and he would have.
This
would be a done game.
Huge RP, and Bane coming around the back. They managed to kill. They managed to kill the Void, and then they get the Keeper on the back. Rubik is going to die as well, so they pick up 3, or maybe Rubik won't die. Very nice duking by him, and he's managing to get away. Very nice play by Onion Rings. They're not going to get him. The creeps have blocked them in. He's going to pour out. What amazing duking, but they still managed to pick up 2 kills.
They destroyed a gem as well.
Yeah, they absolutely did. That gem that was bought a lot earlier really goes funny. Of course, Void choosing very strangely with the Manta style. I can understand his reasoning. He's thinking, okay, in that Chronosphere, I can pop that and I can just get even more damage because, of course, the illusions do a fair bit.
He's bought the Manta to dispel track. Is it really worth it to dispel a track? I really don't think it's worth nearly 5k to dispel a track. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. He could have bought an Eagle song for that much. He had 3.3k. I like the invasion would be awesome against Sven. He could even buy a Heaven's Halberd and disable Sven after the BKB. But there you go.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. Getting at least a Butterfly would have been insane. It stacks so nicely with Backtrack that he just would not be killed. And of course, the extra armor as well means when he does get hit, he's just not going to get hurt, which is so useful. But no, he goes for this Manta style to dispel track and get a little extra damage. But of course, Sven and Magnus are both just so easily going to clear those away that you have to think, Really, at 5,000 gold? But if we look at Sven's items, they're bad moves. The BKB is finally up, but he went for a Mask of Madness, and Mask of Madness with a Void around, never a great move. Chronosphere with, if he gets Chronosphered with that mask
Well,
on, he's dead. He's just dead.
The reason he went for Mask of Madness is just because of the Empower. It gives him so much extra attack power, and if he can pop the Mom when he has Empower on him, and if it's a good RP, they're just going to straight up die just because of the attack speed.
Even a Lincoln's would have been good for Void to stop Bane's ulti.
Yeah, like there are so many items that he could have got. He basically just needs to be as survivable as possible because he's doing enough damage. He doesn't need these huge damage items like Manta. All he needs at this stage is to be more survivable, to survive the fights and deal the damage for as long as he can. And in comes Void, recalled from Keeper. He has Chrono. Is he going to pop it? Doesn't look like he is. RP catches free. Sven's no way near though. He has the Skewer if he wants to use it, but the puck silences him.
I mean, this Void is getting ripped.
Void gets absolutely destroyed, and
just completely destroys. And look at all the moves! Oh my god, reverse polarity! And the Sven gets empowered. He does so much. He doesn't get empowered. Sorry, he just uses God strength. Gets a triple kill. An error around though. Somebody just had to cover that because my god, everybody's trying to come back now. Error is trying to stop Feedrunners, but what are they going to do? Surely, absolutely, Feedrunners just turning it back around. We look at the experience of Goldcross now. It's still 10k in favour of Feedrunners for Error for experience, and about 10k for gold as well. But they're coming back. They're proving they can do something with this.
Well, if you're out of position with a Sven and Magnus, that's it. It's game over, really.
And they were caught out. They were caught out massively by the double reverse polarity, by the refresher orb that was picked up. They just weren't expecting a refresher orb on Magnus at this stage. They didn't feel like he had enough farm. And he just dived in, used his RP once. It really didn't do anything because no one was there to back it up. And then they all crowded up thinking RP was down. He popped it again and Sven just destroyed them.
I really do think if this goes to like a 60-minute game and Sven has Daedalus, Heart, MKB, they will win, I think. I mean, don't forget Magnus can go carry build as well. He can get crit.
Yeah, and
He could get crit and an ace, and he could literally... He would be able to kill all the people solo with all the people in the... Well, if he gets a free money RP, he would be able to kill them all solo.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has the ability to use his power on both himself and Sven. He can keep them up constantly.
Well, you can't put it on Sven when Sven's got his BKB up, don't forget.
Ah, that's very, very true. Does that dispel it?
No, you can't put it on while BKB's active.
Yeah, you have to use it before BKB gets popped, so they'll have to preempt
that. Even when BKB's popped, it dispels.
Oh, it gets... Okay, it dispels it, right.
It got changed in a patch ago. It got changed a while ago that you can't do it anymore because it was considered overpowered.
And there's good reason for that.
Just a tiny bit.
There is good reason for that. But, yeah, it looks like we're just waiting for some lag, and... It looks like we'll be going very shortly. Yep, we are going now. But yeah, this Magnus RP working very, very well. And Error now looking like they're actually on the back foot because they couldn't take the racks. The racks are actually regenning. They've almost gone back to they're about 3/4 HP again. And it looks like Feedrunners are starting to take a massive, massive lead in this part of the game just because of the Sven and a few good reverse polarities. Definitely getting them back into it. Sven has 4k gold, picks up Crystallis.
Well, it's just going so nice. He's got his Crystallis now. That's what he needs. Empower, Crystallis. He's going to be insane. If he can BKB, if he can avoid that Chronosphere especially, maybe, just maybe, it might be worth... Oh, I just wish it was worth him getting a Monkey King bar. I wish that worked against Backtrack, but of course it doesn't. He just does so... He's so difficult to take down, but surely with the Mask of Madness, if he can avoid that Chronosphere, he might be able to take down Void.
Well, I don't think there'd be a point in him getting the Monkey King bar anyway, just because he has such an insane attack speed. If he misses an attack or two, it's not going to matter. He'll just absolutely melt Void, because Void is not a strong hero. He's only got 1500 HP, and one of Sven's crits, when he activates his ulti, will pretty much kill him, especially if he gets an RP, some RP and shockwave damage off that as well. So he doesn't need to worry about missing this Void right now, especially seeing that Void didn't go for Butterfly. Very, very strange.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still not quite got this Manta yet. He's coming in his inventory surely soon, but you know. Oh, Danny is actually unfortunately disconnected, so
I'm
I'm
here.
not going.
My game crashed. I was
Oh,
Okay.
your game crashed.
Oh, big Roshan fight though. They're actually completely smoked up, but they know about it. And in goes Shadox with that big chrono that catches 3, and they're all waiting in the wings. There's the puck ulti, and they managed to pick them all off. They had the sentry ward there. They get them all. Nice play by the Void. Manages to pick up a triple kill. They 5-for-0 them, and again they were smoked up, but they were in that obvious channel, and the Void knew about it, jumped up, chronoed them while they weren't expecting it, and he caught all 5 of them in the chrono, and they just absolutely melted.
Well, you think they would have learned from the first time that surely they can't do that. They're just going to take the barracks so easily now. If we check, do any of the team have buybacks? Sven does, but nobody else. Magnus has actually bought back as well, and that's buyback just in there. They've
Well,
both
they-
bought back.
These two on their own could easily win this fight if there's a good RP, and here comes the skewer. Here's the reverse polarity. No, the silence from Puck. Is he going to be able to pull it off? No, he isn't. Sven gets ultied by Bane, by Rubik stealing the Bane. Oh, and now the racks are going to fall. Neither of them have buyback. They were relying on that Magnus to get the RP for Sven. Puck was hanging around, managed to get a very nice silence off. And they will be taking at least 2 racks now, you feel, almost certainly.
Absolutely, we're seeing them try their hardest. They're going to get Q-Fest though. Era can just destroy all of Feedrunners. They now have lost all their damage. They have a Bane and a Shakiro. It is almost, you could almost call it over for them. Maybe they'll try something. The Bounty Hunter doesn't have buyback, but now the Puck has gone in. He's got the Bane. Bane has gone as well. Jakiro's about to fall as well. This is gone. This is over, surely. They have free reign over the base. 20 seconds to destroy those towers if they want to in mid, or to take the other racks. They're not going to delay this. They're just going to make it sweet and merciful. Taking the net third racks, and it will be over.
They have Chrono up again as well, so they have Chrono. They don't have Black Hole, but that doesn't even matter. They have a Macro Pyre on the Rubik, which is a very nice pickup, seeing that they have the Chronosphere, and it looks like this is going to be over right now. They've nearly taken all of the racks. Magnus and Sven are back, but Magnus gets caught in that big chrono, and look at the damage that the Face of Void was able to do. They pick them both off again, and the GGs are going to be coming out now. They have nothing to stop them. There they are, and Era take the win.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just nothing now. There was nothing that Feedrunners could do after that. Void got so much farm, and the Chronospheres were perfect, absolutely perfect all the time. Keeper of the Light, you have to say, early on, you have to give Void success partially to Keeper of the Light. He did so perfectly well. He just was always on form, and if it wasn't for Keeper, Void would not nearly have got the farm advantage he had.
No, he really wouldn't have, and you have to say that he played very well. All of Era played very well in this game, and they managed to survive when it looked like they were getting pinned back again, just because of the how well the Feedrunners were playing to get back into it. But unfortunately, Feedrunners are out, and we're not going to be seeing them again in this tournament, just because Feedrunners are actually disbanding at the end of this. Q-Fest is going to join Echo and starting a new team there, so we will not be seeing Feedrunners again, and that is a big shame. But it does look like One Pure do take the win.